The room was silent, too silent for a gathering of the most powerful military minds in the world. You could almost hear the air tighten as Donald Trump stepped forward, Pete Hegseth at his side. Cameras flashed, generals stiffened, and for a split second, no one breathed. Then Trump's voice broke the silence. "We are going to take back America's strength, and we're starting right here with you." Those words, simple, direct, and heavy, would echo far beyond the walls of that Pentagon briefing. Because what began as a speech about unity has now ignited a storm that's forcing Americans to ask a dangerous question. Is the U.S. military being quietly drawn into politics? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see power in America forever. For decades, the line between the Oval Office and the Pentagon was sacred. Presidents led, generals advised, and the two worlds never fully mixed. But today, that line seems to be blurring, maybe even breaking. Hegseth, a combat veteran turned political commentator, stood beside Trump not as an observer, but as a messenger, delivering a powerful emotional charge to the nation's top brass. His words painted a picture of loyalty, patriotism, and battle readiness. But under the surface, analysts fear something else, a quiet reshaping of how America's military sees itself and who it serves. Let's be honest, politics and power have always danced close together. But when the people holding the world's most advanced weapons start taking sides, that's not just politics anymore. That's history repeating itself. Remember Rome? Remember the generals who began following men instead of laws? You don't have to be a historian to see the pattern, and it's terrifying. And yet there's also pride in the air, a sense of revival, of soldiers finally being heard again after years of political division. So which is it? Rebirth or realignment? Now, here's where things get even more unsettling. Sources inside Washington say this wasn't a random speech. It was strategic, planned to test the waters, to see how far influence could ripple inside the ranks. And oh, it rippled. Reports suggest that younger officers felt inspired, some even saying it was the first time in years they felt patriotic pride. But senior leaders, they're worried. Because if loyalty starts shifting from the Constitution to a man, then democracy itself begins to tremble. And as strange as it sounds, this moment, a single speech, might mark the start of something far larger than any campaign. But before you jump to conclusions, pause for a second. What if this isn't about politics at all? What if Trump and Hegseth are tapping into something deeper, something America has ignored for too long? The feeling that the country's values are slipping away, that respect for the military has faded, and that power needs to be reclaimed before it's too late. That message, love it or hate it, hit straight to the heart of millions of Americans who feel unheard, unseen, and unprotected. And that emotional connection, it's far more powerful than any policy or slogan. So now we stand at a crossroads where inspiration meets intimidation. Is this the rise of a renewed America or the quiet beginning of a militarized movement? Keep watching, because what happens next inside those walls will reveal whether this is just a moment in history or the start of a new one.
When the applause finally faded, something strange lingered in the air. Not pride, not certainty, but confusion. Behind the polished medals and rigid salutes, America's most decorated officers exchanged uneasy glances. Trump's words had done what few could, awaken both hope and fear in the same heartbeat. Some left the room feeling fired up, ready to fight for a stronger, more decisive America. Others left in silence, wondering if the military soul was being slowly rewritten. And outside those walls, across news networks and social media feeds, the battle for interpretation had already begun. Was this a patriotic revival, or the first chapter in a much darker story? Within hours, every corner of Washington buzzed with speculation. Analysts on cable news called it the most politically charged address to the military in modern history. But what made this moment even more dangerous was not what was said, it was what was left unsaid. No direct orders, no explicit threats, just enough emotion to spark loyalty and uncertainty at once. And that's the genius, or the danger, of Trump's approach. He doesn't need to command, he just needs to inspire, to make people believe. Meanwhile, Pete Hegseth's role grew larger. Once seen as a veteran voice of reason, he was now being called a bridge between the political and the military world, a man shaping not just conversation, but conviction. His message was simple: America is under threat, not just from foreign enemies, but from weakness within. And for a generation of Americans tired of division and disillusionment, that message felt honest, even heroic. But beneath that heroism lurks a hard truth. Every movement born in passion risks crossing the line into fanaticism. Think about it. What happens when inspiration becomes instruction? When loyalty turns into obedience? History offers us too many chilling answers. And yet, every warning is met with a counterargument. Isn't this what America needs? Strength, unity, pride. That's the dangerous beauty of the moment. It feels righteous, even when it's radical. By now, intelligence insiders whisper of subtle shifts, invitations, meetings, private dinners bringing together influential veterans, business donors, and political strategists. The word alignment keeps surfacing in classified notes. Are these just coincidences, or the early blueprint of a political-military alliance forming in the shadows? And if so, who's truly in control? The leaders, or the loyalty they inspire? But let's step back. Forget politics for a second. Think about you, the viewer, the citizen. What does this mean for the average American family, for the young soldier still in training, for the parents watching their sons and daughters wear the uniform, wondering what they're truly serving now? The truth is, we are watching history bend before our eyes. This isn't just about Trump or Hegseth. It's about a question far greater than either of them. What kind of America do we want? One led by institutions or by emotion? And maybe that's the reason this story matters. Because somewhere in the noise of speeches and headlines, the heart of the American experiment, civilian control of the military, is quietly being tested. Will it hold? Or will ambition, once again, rewrite the rules? As the night fell over Washington, one general reportedly turned to another and whispered, "It's begun." No one knows exactly what he meant, but those words have echoed in every conversation since. Has it begun? Has a new era of American power and peril just taken root? You'll want to see what happens next, because the next chapter reveals something even more unsettling: the secret meetings, the media manipulation, and the strategy that could reshape the balance of democracy itself. Click the link on your screen or the video pinned below to continue this story. Because trust me, what comes next will shake the foundation of what you thought you knew about America's future.